there's a trade deadline coming up. I've been on enough teams where you expect a lot, and then others you sit there and go, I hope they don't add. I like our team. I think we're good enough to win. Uh, what do you like on trade deadline day?
I mean, I think I'm pretty easy going. I think, I like our team, but at the same time, I'm not the one having to make trades, so I'm lucky enough to not have to talk to anyone else. And I'll leave it up really to Kyle and Sheldon and all the coaching staff and the upper management to decide what they think we need. But
Welcome to the Real Kyper at Noon show. Every once in a while, we like to take it off the board and go one-on-one with some of the biggest and brightest stars in the National Hockey League. Today, no exception. We welcome Mitch Marner, a little one-on-one. And Mitch, first of all, you guys started out of the gate tremendously, but a lot of games, and now it just seems that there's a little bit of catch-up here. I think you guys have one game this week. Does it feel a little different with so much time off? I see the gaming headset on you. Does that mean that you've been in front of your monitor for the last little while?
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on. But these days off, it's a little different than what we're used to. The schedule right now is really compact, but it is nice getting these days off, the rest days, getting everything ready. I needed to find headphones quickly, and I know I always have a good pair downstairs in these ones, so I quickly grabbed these. But have been getting some serious time in on, I call them the sticks, the controllers, but it's a great way to keep in touch with a lot of my friends that I'm not able to see right now during these times.
And how is that going? Because I did read that you, I think you're in part ownership with a Call of Duty League, if I'm not mistaken, or Overactive Media.
Yeah.
What is that? I read about you and your involvement in that.
Yeah, Overactive Media. I guess it's the head of a bunch of gaming teams. The Call of Duty gaming team is called Toronto Ultra. So they're based out of Toronto, and I've met a couple of the guys there and played a couple games with them. So kind of building a friendship, I guess, with those guys around my age as well. And it's kind of funny, just they grew up in a professional program as well, of just a different mindset of video games and stuff like that. So it's been cool to kind of just talk to them and see the mindset difference. And but it's been a lot of fun being a part of ORAM. We call it, and there's a lot of cool opportunities that I've been a part of that came up from them. So it's been a lot of fun, and looking forward to seeing what the future holds with them.
We know your teammate Zach Hyman's also heavy into that. Is that something in conjunction with him, or is he going his separate ways on that?
Yeah, no, he's got his own brand. I think it's E11 Gaming, and it seems like that's more kind of Fortnite guys. I know he's just got Sword Gaming as well, so he's making something pretty big out of there as well. So it's great seeing the different side of us hockey players as a business standpoint, and not just straight about hockey all the time.
Now, have you waved the white flag to Fortnite now, or are you still
Yeah.
challenging this thing?
No, I'm off that. It's getting a lot of good players out there nowadays, and I'm a competitive player where I don't like getting killed a lot and killed by better players. So I quickly quit that game and tried to figure out something new to get on and be better at.
We mentioned the time off, and I just wonder now, how does this season or compared to maybe the hard bubble that you guys were in, located in a hotel in downtown Toronto, similar feel in terms of what you're limited to, or is this a much different feel the second go around?
I think it's different because we can still be at home with our families. Obviously, I think our team's done a really good job of just making sure we're staying to the guidelines and staying safe, of not really seeing anyone outside, staying in your own kind of house and your own property, and wearing masks at all times. We've done a really good job of that. So it feels different because you get to sleep in your bed, you get to drive your car to rinks, and still come home after. And I mean, the hotel vibe was just different. You're constantly in that hotel. You're seeing other teams walk around and stuff. So it's different than what we're doing now.
We've seen countless games postponed south of the border, and yet this week we saw for the first time Edmonton and Montreal get shut down. Is that a nice warning or a clear warning to the rest of the teams? Hey, be careful here. Does that kind of a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. For us, I think, like I said, I think we've been doing a really good job of keeping sure we're doing the right things and keeping safe. And it's I think a lot of people are really done it, but at the same time, you can't really stop thinking about it, because if you do get it, then it could spread. You're missing games. Games could get postponed or canceled, and this upcoming schedule for us is very packed tight. So we don't want to make sure we make it any harder on ourselves. We want to make sure we're doing everything right to keep it the way it is.
Well, congratulations on a great start to this season, albeit with all the challenges. Particularly, you and Austin have gotten off to a terrific start, and I'm looking at your stats, and I think this week you're going to play in your 333rd hockey game in your career. I think you're closing in on 100 goals. You've been a point a game guy, Mitch, your whole career. And I'm just wondering now, in terms of your feel and your comfort zone, it's got to be at an all-time high.
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, I think first 100 games or so, you're kind of sitting there and you're nervous to speak out. You're nervous to kind of act up and stuff like that. Nowadays, you count yourself as a leader in the room, and someone that people lean on and look up to. So for me, I'm just trying to, I guess, embrace the role and be confident in anything you get given to on the ice or off the ice. So, but definitely, it's been a lot of fun to grow into the role now that I'm in, and be a part of it. And I think every player wants to be in a leadership role, and a guy that people can look upon for any kind of help on the ice. So it's been a lot of fun to grow into that role, and it's been awesome to be part of it.
It's always important for any hockey player, to, despite what role you're in, to be the hardest working guy out there. But as far as the offense goes, has it always been natural for you, with your
Uh,
vision or your anticipation, since you first started, or is that something that was worked on as well at a young age?
I think both. I mean, I worked on it a lot growing up, just trying to be quick on that ice, trying to decept people, making it seem like I'm doing one thing and do the other. So I think I've worked on it a long time. I mean, I've been working with Rob DeVoe since I was 4, so almost 20 years now, I guess. It's been awesome. It's every summer we find something new to get better at, and that's something I think you want to do. But for us, for me at least, it's just making sure I'm trying to get better every offseason. Trying to get better at certain things, and when I come into the game time, be ready to put them into the game and do it. And the vision and stuff like that, I think you're kind of growing into it, but you can always learn to get better at it. And that's what we try and do every offseason.
It's just not about going into the high traffic areas, but it's about going in there and being successful. And then there's the escapability. And I'm just wondering, was that by necessity, because you were always regarded as one of the smaller players on on your team growing up? And certainly at this point now, you could see you've put on muscle and strength, which has helped
Mhm.
you. But back then, it couldn't have been easy.
Yeah, no, I definitely. I always want to try and be elusive on that ice. I want to try and be quick in corners, and like you just said, I mean, I knew I was never the small or the biggest guy on that ice, so I was trying to always do things to get out of corners quickly, make it hard on D-man to control me in corners, because nowadays that's really what it's about. It's about who can get out of that corner first, regardless of where the puck is. So it's always just in something in my mind, and nowadays it helps having the muscle and the added weight on to win those battles and get out of that corner quicker.
We discussed a point a game guy, and even in your first rookie year, and it was well noted by me a lot that at times I found you on a fourth line or not playing as much, but you still managed to get 61 points. And I know prior to that you had a brief stint with the Leafs after being drafted fourth overall. When you look back in those first couple of seasons since you were drafted, was going back to London ended up being a good thing for you? We know that you were one of the most successful teams in history in junior hockey that led to a Memorial Cup. But how do you look upon that 5, 6 years later? That one
Uh,
year that you did go back, when many top picks stick around for a greater length
mhm.
of time.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I mean, like you just said, we had one of the best teams that I think was ever assembled in the CHL history. I think our record proved it. What we did in the playoffs proved it. winning everything like how we did proved it. So I would take our team in that CHL run against any really CHL team that's gone through it. So it was a lot of fun that year. Just I think it made me grow a lot as a player. Um, it was so much fun going to the rink every day and something you look forward to, and that's the way hockey should be. Is you go to the rink every day happy and ready to play. And I think you can go so many ways when you get sent back to juniors, your mindset wise of how you're going to go back and take it on. So I thought the guys that were in NHL camps that went back to London, I thought we all got together and did a great job of just being happy and owning that role and wanting to be the best team that we could be, and we did it. But no, it was a lot of fun, and I mean we're lucky in London. It's an organization that makes you feel as if you are in the NHL or the top league in the world. So it was a blessing to be a part of that organization for 3 years, and I was very fortunate for that.
And with 4 years under your belt, we talked about the comfort zone that you have, and that's led to the comfort zone. I think of your coach, your general manager, your president. You have now greater responsibilities than you ever had with Mike Babcock, and there's a big difference between playing 16 and 17 minutes, Mitch, and then jumping to some nights 24, 25 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I just think for off-season training wise, I mean, I always just tried to train myself for being able to play as many minutes as I can. Is my dog causing
Hey,
too much trouble for us
who's
right
trying
now?
to
By the
get
way,
in on the
I
show
know,
right now?
I
Go
know.
get him.
I think my girlfriend just got home. Can you just?
Everybody wants in on the Real Kipper at Noon show. This
Oh
is
my god! Yeah,
I
yeah,
I get
it's
the
Marner
same
household,
sounds.
man.
I
Crazy.
get the same sounds, Mitch, with Doug McLean. He barks at me all the time
Nice
too.
one. Yeah, yeah. No, it's. I think someone just got home, so he's looking all fired up.
Are you Mitch, is there some nights that you come off the ice and your tongue is like dragging playing 24 minutes?
I mean, I think again, I've really trained with the same people growing up my whole life. So I've been with Dan Noble for my off ice since I was in grade 7 or 8. So I don't even know what age that is at this point, but probably when I was like honestly 11 or 12, I've been with Dan. So he's a guy that knows my body very well and knows what to work on every summer. And for us this summer, it was just making sure we're getting the conditioning in. I think the Leafs were pretty clear with how we finished off last year about the I could be possibly playing a lot of big minutes and a lot of big nights, and so we concentrated a lot on just trying to make my conditioning as best as possible with runs, sprints, workouts, just making your legs, I guess, work and not try and feel fatigued as they usually would. So um, I think we did a really good job in this off season of making sure I was ready to play these minutes. And I do get these nights off and everything like that. I make sure I'm doing the right stuff to keep myself fresh and clean and ready to go to the next game.
Well, I've been around Toronto pretty much my whole life growing up here. Played elsewhere, but then came back and broadcasted for over 21 years. Mitch, I can't recall the last time I think a city was that excited about chances to win a championship here. I'm just wondering from your side, now that we're in this pandemic and there are no fans in the building, do you get a sense of the vibe that's out there, or are you a little bit more sheltered because you play in an empty building?
I think it can go kind of both, but it's now it's getting again just weird without the fans because you're seeing other teams with fans in the building and you're seeing how the fans are reacting and just how happy they're to be back in the building and how happy the guys are for them back in the building. But I mean, Toronto, it's the biggest media standpoint you can be at, so I think you still feel that energy outside the rink, even if you don't got them in the building. You can feel the energy outside. You can feel how bad this city still wants to win. So I think that's something that's never going to die here. And I think our team's confidence is very high, and believe we can do something special. But at the same time, we also make sure we're keeping each other accountable to come in every night and be the best we can be.
Well, there's no question that I think they are feeling that, but with that comes the added pressure and not to kind of bring up the fact that you, along with 3 or 4 other guys, are very highly paid, and it only takes a bad week to be reminded by them every time. Is that something that motivates you? Do you think about that at all? Does it come into play in terms of how determined you step on the ice every game?
I think maybe when last year it did, but this year, no. I'm not focusing on that, and I think our team's really done a great job of not focusing on the outside noise and the outside negativity. We have a tight knit group in that locker room, so we keep sure that everyone's confidence is the same, and you can't be successful with people doubting themselves. So we want to make sure that everyone in that locker room knows how great they can be, and when you step on that ice, just go out there and play for one another. And I think we've done a great job of that, and really just stuck to that. And it's, I think, why we've been doing so well.
Well, you mentioned it, a tight knit group, and you see it. You see it in the reaction to goals, whether it's Hyman on the wraparound and then going get a high five for Wayne Simmons. Is this the closest of the 5 years that you've been with the Leafs that this team feels?
Um, I think it's definitely up there, and I say that I think because at the same time, we've all been together now for a lot of years. So I think the new guys we brought in, it's not like they came in and they're quiet. I think if anyone knows Joe, Simmer, Zach, Bogosian, they all know they're pretty loud guys. Broads was really the only one that kind of came in quiet. Took about a day and a half for him to start joking around and making fun of guys and chirping. So I think everyone we added just got right into our group and really joined the group well. And um, I think this is probably the tightest group I've been on in Toronto, and I think it's just because everyone wants to win and everyone wants to succeed, and no one really gives a shit who scores or what happens. Everyone's just excited, and I think the same excitement goes for when guys make some big blocks, some big plays in the D zone. So it's just constant excitement, and I think everyone just having so much fun coming to the rink, and that's something that you got to do if you want to win.
So I can't keep up with all the nicknames that Joe Thornton has
Yeah.
thrown around in the last few months.
Mhm.
Where does it stand with you? How many nicknames do you have?
I think he's really only given me one. Uh, he hasn't said it in the media yet, but it's a funny one. I'm going to keep it to myself for the time being, and maybe if someone can get it out of him one time, you'll get it there. But I don't want to give the inside scoop. But it's a funny nickname, and
Is
it's
it
a cool nickname for
okay?
sure.
We don't have to give it away here, but
Yeah.
does it have anything to do with a character? Like, are we gonna play like 20
No,
questions here?
it's a basketball player. That's all I'm gonna give out. But maybe I'm sure Jumbo will tell someone in one of those media times, especially if someone's going to ask him. I'm sure he'll tell him, but
All
it's
right.
uh, it's a cool little nickname, and something that I think is pretty cool that he calls me. But that's he's got a lot of nicknames for everyone, and he's
Well,
constantly making people laugh. So it's great to have around.
we'll look for that in the
Yeah,
next little while. But you know, your personality has kind of gravitated to some of these older veterans, and we saw that with Patrick Marleau. What is it about these guys that would lend you to spend a lot of time with them off the ice?
I think just um, they're always doing the right things. Really, of taking care of themselves, but at the same time, they're both I think just great people to be around. Bring a lot of joy, a lot of excitement into lives, and um, that's someone you want to be around. Is someone that constantly is bringing joy around, or you're laughing around and having fun around. So that was always something that I enjoyed about a lot of the guys we had with Matt Martin, with Patty. It's just the joy being around him, of having so much fun. And whenever we went to Patty's, there was always mini sticks with the kids, just constantly joke around and acting like, well, we were kids and we still are kids, but just having that fun with those kids and just enjoying everything and seeing the smile left on them as well as us. So it was just a lot of fun to be a part of.
Well, there are some real strong personalities in your room, and one that's kind of made, I think, a big dent in that room with his personality is Jack Campbell. We know he hasn't played a lot
Mhm.
of games, and we'll see what transpires here in the next little while. But here's a guy that I don't think I've ever seen him not smile.
Yeah, no, it's contagious as well, and he's a guy that doesn't matter if he's playing, if he's backing up, he's constantly on the bench, vocal, talking to you. always making you feel better about yourself, and it's hilarious. He'll do something for you, and then he'll say thank you to you. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense, and that's just the type of guy he is, and he's never going to change. And it's something that we're very lucky to have on our team, and very fortunate to have. And he's meant a lot to this team. When he goes in that net, his confidence shows how good he is, and it's been a lot of fun seeing him succeed in the role he's been given here. And it's awesome to have a guy like that, as positive as he is, regardless of situations in. Whenever he takes a net, just knowing he's got the confidence to win us games is huge.
Mitch, before we close out the rest of this abbreviated regular season, there's a trade deadline coming up. I've been on enough teams where you expect a lot, and then others you sit there and go, I hope they don't add. I like our team. I think we're good enough to win. Uh, what do you like on trade deadline day?
I mean, I think I'm pretty easy going. I think I like our team, but at the same time, I'm not the one having to make trades, so I'm lucky enough to not have to talk to anyone else. And I'll leave it up really to Kyle and Sheldon and all the coaching staff and the upper management to decide what they think we need. But I think we're happy with our team, and whatever happens, I don't think it's going to be a downgrade or um, something that's going to go wrong. I think it's something that's going to make our team better. So if they want to do something, then I think it's going to make our team better. And if not, then this team is showing a lot of confidence and only going to get better.
But you did watch me growing up on trade deadline day. I mean, that was a must in the
Mhm.
Marner household, was it
Yeah,
not?
it was actually a huge day in our household. Was phones were going all day long, seeing who's getting, seeing what teams were doing what. Is trade deadline day when I was out of the league and not in it yet was so much fun to be part of, and when I was not drafted also, because that was a little scary and intimidating area. But now seeing it go live now in your face and seeing what teams are doing, it keeps you engaged. But definitely back in the day when I wasn't playing in the NHL or anything, it was a lot of fun to watch.
Do you find now in the back half the style of play has changed a little bit? Teams now know what they're dealing with when they play against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and particularly Marner and Matthews. The tight checking. Do you feel that now, and needing to make necessary adjustments?
Well, I think regardless, it's always the back half. Teams always get tighter because you're starting to play like it is playoff hockey. So you're not really trying to give up too much on the rush. You're staying above a lot of pucks. You're being smart on the ice. So I think we felt it the last couple games. But for us, I think we know what we got to do to be better, and puck moving wise, supporting each other on the ice wise, as a team, just making sure all five guys are active in the ozone and covering for one another. And I thought we've done a good job of it, and just got to keep getting better at it.
Helps having a guy like Wayne Simmons. I know Lucic took a pretty good run at Matthews. I know if I was on the bench, it you just can't let that slide, whether it's confronting Lucic or going after Johnny Hockey. But that's still part of the game. We don't see it as much or as often, Mitch, but there is still an element there, isn't there?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't see that hit until after the game because me and Wayne were on the ice with Austin when he chipped that puck forward, and actually we got a 3-on-2 on it, and so we're at kind of a partial breakaway on it. So I didn't see it until after the game, but it definitely is still a part of it. Everyone wants to protect one another, and I'm sure their team was the same way when Halsey took that hit on Johnny. And I mean, you want to protect your guys, and like I said, it's a family game out there, so everyone's protecting one another and feels like it's family.
After being this far into the season now, are you loving the North Division, the All Canadian? You're only playing 6 teams all season long. Is enough enough? Are you ready to go south
Yeah,
of the border?
yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and I mean, the reviews have shown it's been a lot of fun, and everyone's enjoying watching it. But it's we're pretty fortunate here in Toronto with the regular schedule usually being travel wise, and it's a little different nowadays. We're traveling some days game before for a 4.5 hour flight and to a 3 hour time change, so it's a little different than it used to be. I think we're getting used to it pretty quickly, but like you said, we're playing the same 6 teams a lot of times. So I think every single person is ready to face some different teams and kind of get back schedule. But we'll see what happens.
Everybody talks about a great opportunity for anybody in the North to get to a conference final, and we know the issues in the past have been the Boston Bruins and Washington one year, but would you put it this way? It would have been nice maybe during the regular season to see where you guys kind of match up with some of the better teams south of the border, but we know that's not going to happen. But is there a part of you that sits there and says, "Hey, we still got some unfinished business with the Boston Bruins here, if in fact that comes up"?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't think. I think a great thing about a team is we don't look too much ahead. I guess you could say. We just try and live in the here and now, and I thought we've done a great job of that, just taking game by game. So we're not trying to look too far ahead. We just want to make sure we're going every game. Same mindset of playing hard, playing right, doing everything right. So if that time comes, we'll adjust to it then. And till then, we'll see what happens. Just make sure we come in every day, like I said, be ready to play, and make sure we're ready for the challenge.
Well, it's been fun watching you have a great start to your career, and I know it's well rounded. You've got your Marner Assist Fund that has done tremendous work. You've also got a ton of endorsements. I see Red Bull on the hat. I'm waiting for you to do Little
Yeah,
Buddha. Get the
yeah.
Little Buddha brand going as well. But
The Martyrs
what?
love the little Buddha. I'll say it. Who the Martyr household is a fan of the Buddhas, especially in the
Oh,
summertime.
good,
They've been used in
good.
the summertime nicely by Steph and my parents, so they're delicious.
We'll make sure the Little Buddha delivery truck hits the cottages uh, when you're ready, pal.
Yeah, that'd be
But
great.
anything you can tell us in terms of your assist fund and what it's been doing in the pandemic? Anything going on there, or is it what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, recently there hasn't been too much. We're just trying to see where we can chip in and help out. But we did the streamathon, which was so much fun. That was the second harvest to get meals out for families in need or over the holidays. So we also did the mental health. That's very important to me and my family. Of just especially through these times, it's real tough. Some people be by themselves for a while and a long time, and I think the thing is to know you're never alone and never fighting by yourself. So, but right now, I think we're just trying to find ways to still help out and see where we can help out. But it's been a lot of fun doing my charity and doing my events and getting me and so many new people because of it. And it's been something that I'm very proud of and very happy to have going still.
Can't let you go without mentioning the Intact commercials. The latest one I saw was with you and your mom, Bonnie. Fantastic job, but come on, you gotta get your dad Paul in a couple of these things. I mean, no
Yeah.
one. When I see your dad, I think Intact Insurance.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure he's been offered a couple of those starting roles, but my mom's the one that's not afraid to take him and get in that spotlight. She's done a great job with them, and it's hilarious. The workers every time she leaves are always just how great she is and how much fun she is to be around. And I mean, it's true. It's she's a lot of fun to be around. So we're pretty lucky growing up with her in our household.
Well, we remember the one dance on Hockey Night in Canada that went viral. So let's keep our
Hmm.
fingers crossed. By playoffs, we have enough people in there that Bonnie and whoever else wants to enjoy themselves in the game can once again. Eh, Mitch?
Yeah, let's hope so. We'll see, but we got to make sure everyone stays safe. And but it would be nice to get some fan stuff back in.
Can't thank you enough for doing this, Mitch. I know you're a busy guy and making time for me and the Real Kipper at Noon show. Full marks to you. Wish you all the best in the success in the back half of the season, and hopefully a Stanley Cup for all those Maple Leaf fans out there.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Kipper. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Mitch Marner from the Toronto Maple Leafs.